This allows you to analyze the connections between the subscribers. The second one allows us to analyze the number of connections over the course of time. You can group from 1 minute to 24 hours. And the third part helps us group together in communication sessions. When one individual to another. There's a roll call and a pause between called 15 seconds. If you stop for 15 seconds, you can put it out on your own. It'll be a new grouping session. Now, what are we doing? We're going to include SDR trunk because it analyzes the logic of this program. Let's go to the website. The Downloads tab. The address will be on the screen now. You choose your version. I'm telling you, Windows is a much more stable version. Why next it is? 3 hours is working falling. On Ubuntu, I tried to do it. I didn't like this version. So take a Windows bet. We're calling package. Let's go to the folder where you loaded it. Come inside. And you unpack. I was trying to get it out of the folder where the archive was higher. I was a little bit tired. They unpacked. The dude who wrote this SDR trunk is pretty funny. He understands how it works all over the protocols. I don't know if he's going to take this. It's pretty good with the logic. Sometimes I saw in the logic, and sometimes I could even transmit UTF. But it does not save the files, but it displays UTF no aliases. In the DMR, I saw the ligaments. If you call it naturally, so it's ethering to UTF. Your identifier. You are running the program. Finds it there, SDR trunk, it's called. While she's packing her bags in there. It's written in Java. Well, now they're getting the know-it-alls. She's getting plenty done. What's it run after? She's putting some bags of her own in there. If you don't have a computer, something is missing. And it starts. Here's the window. I'd rather calibrate. Cause she's kind of more stable after the calibrokes. I didn't freeze with that pretty much. I calibrated. This process is long. It must have been 15 minutes. I've cut it out here. I don't want it to get any faster on the video. It's been going on a lot longer in life. It's going to be interesting, so read about it. In comments, somewhere where it's going to be. It's probably YouTube, this video. Then right over there. I don't know what that's going to do. If there's a wish. I wrote it as a hobby. It was interesting. It would be interesting, of course, to write down here. My naked. Who could predict? Future exits on the air. But time is short. On all things. So as it is. I didn't do this thing. But it'd be fun. There's something to predict. And add a group of turf 3. Shrinking connection. But it doesn't have time for that either. Maybe some individual module. I'll do it, I don't know when it's time. I'm ready, steady, go. It did. All these processors. Oh, leasing. What's next? That's it, and we're going to be working with the program now. Let me tell you a little bit about what. I don't know how to set it up. And so on. All right, so it's loaded. I've already connected the receiver. Set up a driver. I only have RTL 800, this 20th. Is yes. Which are supported by the program. I take it we've got to install some wood. And then the driver. And then run the program. And the program itself is automatically hooked up. Be sure to correct this option. I don't want you to get along. If there's a radio, you turn it on. And look where you have that frequency. Because those cheap whistles, they're lying. Often they need to be corrected. Well, I've already got a list. What are we doing? We're choosing the communications standard. So let's add a recording. From the previous window, it's been pulled up. So this right over here is the frequency. You add comments. System, site, name. And keep it, remember to store it. And then after you've kept all this stuff, you start play. And it will keep you. Here, flip all the ticks. That's maximum quality. Well, by the logic of this, it'll be the most reasonable thing to do with the data you've given. I showed up, and I didn't get too cold with them either. This is LSN, this is for a trench, but I didn't have time to deal with them and group them. So in this window, only logging. Choose those 4 buttons. Okay, hang on. Yeah, you keep play. Then you press. And the logic will be stored in this program's folder. You'll see it in the window. No, we're not. We've got to press. Also, I didn't have time to deal with it. We run everything. The pebble is green, and you've got 2 records in the window. I'm showing you where the logic of the program is. Here they are, and I sort. And you can see what a number it is when I've already written the video. 5, 11, 3. two files are created. That's where the name and the frequency are. It's the same thing we put up there. Of course, nothing's going to happen here. Pause frequency doesn't exist. She doesn't analyze anything. She doesn't write it down. And in your case, you're gonna get the frequency in that window. I don't know where migration is. So, I've drawn a few frequencies from my list. Logs look like this. They don't stay anywhere. It's just on the screen. It's all there is to it. 500 or 2000. Ah, there's a hat over there, headery. You select 200 entries or more. Well, if you have a lot of listening frequencies, so that we don't keep a place in our memory. I don't want the computer to glue. And more of the free memory. There's filters to choose from. These are filters I've been talking about. The dude was very understanding about this program. Developer of it. It's kind of interesting to see here. It's like my program is going to be installation. That readme sold.txt files will be in a folder. You either take it or you take it by this instruction. Go and install the Python packets. After a man like everybody's been intrigued. You are running a Windows program. For Linux, I didn't get too tired. Or like this. Well, yeah, it started. That this parameter right over here is affecting what it's affecting. You're setting 0. Sometimes when files are written, there too. Then they have a time difference. So if you put time 3 seconds or 5. If you're in a lot of trouble, you're in a lot of trouble. It's going to be 3 gigabytes. That's an hour to analyze the logic. If it's 0, it'll do it pretty quickly. But you're not going to get 0 qualitative data. There'll be, for example, the subscribers missing. Because time doesn't match and it doesn't process these logics properly. Let's see if you're taking a break from synchronization. These 2 files are in the writing process. Well, I've been suspended. Maybe you'll be fine. So this time of the HEPM you're going to correct. 0 is fast, but not good. In seconds, this is the difference between 2 files. If there's 5 seconds or 3 there, well, it's been a long time with a lot of volume, but it's more quality. You'd better put 3 or 5 seconds there. This is the helicopter between the files and the entries. And now you press the 0, 1 button. Convert data. It processes the bottom convert data folder. And stores the log files there already. With whom this program works? Well, basically, you could write it below you. Converting to my program. There's no problem there. You open files, you can see for yourself. Well, I don't know what kind of format I have. I didn't write anything like CSV files. Or something like that. I made my own format there, as it were. And it works well. How it works? Unfortunately, it's a non-commercial product. That's why the drunk did like he could. You can do better, of course. And now you're going to have it processed down there. 122 files in the console window. There's 221 processed, everything, and there's a date path. All right, you can then, as it turned out, run visualization. And now there's going to be a window with connections between the subscribers. On the left. Switch this thing over. I didn't produce those empty files here. I don't want it to sit on the screen. Yeah, a pretty useful thing you might be able to do. You can take it, you can press it. That's right, on the left. That's right. Press it, it lights you up, and it copies to the buffer. And then you can put it in text here. So this guy had these connections and they cut this number of resistors. I think this might be useful for analysis. I'm not sure who writes any reports or anything. This is the file you choose that you want to display. See, the zeros aren't coming out of me here. They only go out there with one connection. Then we'll switch. Cut! There is a filter from 2. You can choose who you don't want to see on the analysis list here. Well, some technical ID, for example. Well, that's where you choose what you want to see. You push these and pass the oil below. You replace it. Apply, yes. Well, Windows are such that you know what's going on. There's no application hanging in the process, because sometimes there were 5 minutes of program running, and you don't know what's going on. Well, it's more or less understandable. Duration's next. This is the time from and to the radio. You can paste, choose, for example, if you have 0 there. Some kind of connection session. So you post the communication sessions from 1 to 3 seconds. 5, whatever you want to do. Event. It's where we have encryption, unencrypted. Well, kind of connection, in short. It's the Venets. You choose the type of communications here. Time slot is next. The program, by the way, was only written under the DMR. I don't know, because some other people aren't available to me. Well, there's another P25, but there's nothing interesting about it. And for the test. Well, I didn't get too attached to these either. It's only a DMR, if there's anyone's wish. So it's for someone you can write. You're the one in the text file that can find that data. It can also be filtered. Now I'll probably open this window. Filake, yes, some. And the last one is encrypted. It's this field right over here. This is the one you see in details. So here's the format of my logic. I can't believe I've been working on this before. Date, time, communication type. Captured, uncryable. Who, time slot, color. I mean, it's on top of it. What do we have next? This is a PDF. We're saving the results. And SVG in vector format. You can save in 2 formats. Well, PDF is like that. It's not all cut to 50 or 20 connections. 1 frequency. It's a general statistic. I'll be right there. Let's take a look. And SVG file. It's in the browser. but maybe you're somewhere else on the program. This is a vector file. Let me see. Maybe it was done in Excel, but so was it. And by the way, it looks better here. It's better than my program. In vector form. You can keep it. Zoom in and out. Well, actually, that's all. With this block. Then we have daily activity. What does it do? It can group. From the minute. Down here, you can see 60 minutes by silence, from minute to 24 hours. But here in a minute, it's 1,440 minutes in the day. And that's why you can do it. Depending on your time. Which one you're 5 minutes away from? You've been making connections for a while. Export here as 2 file types. Export to PDF. And export to a text file. Text, by the way, I like it better. He's so authentic. The filter on the left. Well, it's the same in all windows. He's probably the same. Save it. Let me see. From detonation. Warm lamp sound. That's how it works. You can copy it, too. And somewhere in the report. I don't want to hide it. And PDF. Well, who as a matter of course? Maybe someone in PDF. I'll like it more. It's the same thing as on the screen. I bet some of them will be here. 'Cause I'm just getting to the details. No, I didn't. It'll be there in Helpy. You know I'll be able to get in touch with you on the signal. Or, write comments. You too. You'd better put it on the signal. Well, if you don't mind, it'll be a story. And that's the last window. It allows you to group communication sessions. For example, there is some during the day, some activity. And you can take the time out here. Oh, I'm sorry, in hours. It groups for an hour. You see, 10, 11, hours, 12. And it groups communication sessions. If one said something, then pause 15 seconds. And if it's 10 or 7 or 14 seconds, well, I guess that's something I said. It groups into one packet. Communications session. For example, when there's a roll call. It's between subscribers. Tim, you're here. Patty's in position. Everything's there. 1, 1. I'm passing something on to you. And it is it. There's a bunch of sessions like this. So it's a way of thinking about it. What kind of subscribers? Someone you were talking to. For a while. And there's probably some statistics to do. And save this file. That's not it. I didn't keep it that way. You will see how it stores. It's like this. Nothing's normal. Groupings over there. That one, that's why, for some reason, it's such a time. Because this is data package, and they don't have time, but you'll see there, somewhere to go. It's time for communication between subscribers. There'll be some group. Well, that. This right over here, how much time? 1 point said. Another. Here in this case. All the same identifiers are written for all, and one group. It's the most exciting thing I've ever heard. That's how they do it. I've already done the text file. It doesn't work here. And I like it too. Some kind of lamp thing. It's text-shaped. I like it better. What these reports look like. And in Excel, I did another report. Openable. And that it. If there are any suggestions, they'll say on the signal there. To the extent. I think I'm going to answer that question. This window added. That it may be understood. I don't know what's going on. Because without that window, it's like the program's frozen. It's about 2.5. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Well, here's how long it takes. Probably in a few minutes. In this way. On frequency. Can be loaded. I don't know where you need it. This story. And a big thank you. This is my thanks. Dragon OS. It'll be in his back. Here's the link. There's a website on it. It's my signal. But you're welcome. Well, that was a brief overview. To new meetings. Grandma. Grandma.